from what we talked about last night, that all of the events of Hajj, they have a physical and spiritual dimension, both being important, both being the completion of faith. These are the symbols of faith, and that the pillars of Islam means you cannot complete your Islam without performing the Hajj, understanding the Hajj. That Hajj now may be unfortunately like a tourist event, that we buy tickets, they're very expensive and expensive hotels, and you go through rituals and you come home as if you have completed something. Inshallah, ameen, that Allah grant based on intention. But there's something much deeper happening, that the events of Hajj have to do with understanding, testing in life. And that Allah describes in Holy Qur'an that, you're not going to achieve faith unless I test you like those who came before you, with your life, with your property, with your family, with your wealth. Everything is on the table with Allah, and that paradise is not cheap and free to get in. It requires a tremendous amount of sacrifice. If we look only to the pious people who came before us, the extent of the difficulty they had in lives, then for us it's a way of pondering that, to contemplate and ponder that Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Atiyullah, Atiya Rasul wa ulul amri minkum, that in this understanding of Sayyidina Ibrahim, Sayyidina Hajar and Sayyidina Ismail, all of Hajj is based on that event. That the house that Sayyidina Ibrahim brought and built after he put his wife Sayyidina Hajar in the desert, she went 7 times to bring the well of Zamzam, and then as soon as the child grew up 11, 12, 10 years old, Sayyidina Ismail ordered by Allah to sacrifice. We talked last night about that, but this is something deep in our lives that with tafakkur we begin to contemplate. Atiyullah in this understanding is Sayyidina Ismail. Atiya Rasul, Sayyidina Hajar, wa ulul amri minkum, Sayyidina Ibrahim. The teaching for us by example, this is from the great Prophets of Allah. This is not a lowering of rank, but teaching us in the way of faith, that through the testing that Allah sends us through, a perfection is going to be born, and how that relates to the 12th month and Sayyidina Mahdi. Means that in ulul Sayyidina Ibrahim is teaching us that perfect your form, perfect your entire being, that Allah is going to test you, constantly test you, and Allah going to test you with things that you never imagined in your life. So it means that whatever you did, Allah going to ask for that and something much more. And that when the testing comes, don't use your logic, don't use your head. In this example Sayyidina Ibrahim is reminding that I did everything for Allah and all I prayed for was awlad. Grant me Ya Rabbi inheritors, grant me a child from what you have given to me in life. And very old in age it came, a child to Sayyidina Hajar, which was the handmaiden of Sayyidina Sarah. That child came, and what Allah ordered from everything that had been done in life, I want that one, I want that one. Means that Sayyidina Ibrahim comes into our life and begins to teach that the ulul they are going to perfect our form, they're going to perfect our understanding of how Allah going to test us. They're not the one testing us, Allah is testing us. What they want for us and what Sayyidina Ibrahim wants for us, that he represents unimaginable stations, but nafs al-mutma'inna, the self that is completely in surrendering. So what Prophet wanted for us is make a salawatul Ibrahimiyyah, that every time you praise upon Sayyidina Ibrahim Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad wa kam salati ala Sayyidina Ibrahim wa ala ali Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he's going to be dressing us alayhi salam from that maqam, from that reality, that the testing in which Allah has put me through so significant that it is our Hajj. Our Hajj is not a tourist vacation with hotels and beautiful food. But Sayyidina Ibrahim comes into our lives and inspires, I did everything and the only thing I didn't think Allah was going to ask, He asked for that. Prepare yourself that Allah is going to ask for everything. And they come into our lives that don't use your logic in what Allah is ordering, because your logic going to say, oh this may be a joke, no I can't, that's not going to happen. Means he struggled with the amr of Allah. That's why on this example Sayyidina Ismail is Atiullah. He struggled with the order of Allah that sacrifice what is dear to you and you didn't put on the table, you said, no they have nothing to do with this, they have everything to do with everything. Allah has a reach into every aspect of our lives. There's no one aspect where to say, no, I come for zikr, I do this and that, but this Allah nothing to do with. Allah says, no, I have everything to do with everything in your life. They come and perfect the form, submit, know that you're going to be tested, and then the of Allah comes, and with the perfected form and with the perfected understanding, the perfected practices, and that's why we follow the sunnah. The sunnah of the Prophets means the way of the Prophets. He comes as an example that you follow the sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad, you follow the sunnah of the Prophets, you're going to perfect your form. If you perfect your form and your understanding, your Islam begins to grow. As soon as the order came, he took the child, 3 times he had to wait, sleep, wake up, we talked last night. He took the child and began to head for the mountain for the sacrifice. Now Sayyidina Hagar comes into our life and begins to teach that I represent Atiya Rasul, and Atiya Rasul is the maqam al-iman, because Islam was you had to listen to the amr of Allah. In our lives we don't pick and choose that I'll listen to this and I won't listen to that, I'll listen to this and I won't listen to that. That's not going to be from ulul am, because when we listen to ulul am, Allah dresses us from ulul am, because the people who obey, samina wa atana, I heard and I obey, and I'm trying to reach taslim. And Sayyidina Hagar comes into our life and describes, I represent faith. Faith because I listen to the Prophet. So direct, we have a direct example in our life of this event. This is Hajj. If we don't understand what took place, we didn't achieve what Allah wanted for us of faith. When we understand this and then we go labbaik Allahumma labbaik, and as we're walking and circumambulating and going on Safa Marwa, we are remembering their lives and what they sacrificed. That, Ya Rabbi, make my form like Sayyidina Ibrahim to submit to you, and whatever you ask of me, Ya Rabbi, put into my heart the ability to accept. And Sayyidina Hagar comes into our life and describes that I am the station of iman because I obeyed the Rasul. When shaitan came to me, 3 jamarats. When the shaitan came to me, that's the second jamarat. You go to 3 shaitans. The first one is that, let me to listen to you like Sayyidina Ibrahim, listen to you Ya Rabbi. What you ask from me, if my form is not accepting, no way I'm going to have any faith. How you can have faith but your form is doing every crazy thing imaginable? So form has to come into obedience. Then the soul begins to teach us that when shaitan came to me, I cast the shaitan away and said, if this is what the Nabi says, if that is the sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad, the way of Sayyidina Muhammad, samina wa atana, and that becomes all Narai Muhammadin, Narai Muhammadin. This is the maqam al-iman. If this what Sayyidina Muhammad wanted for us, what could be more better? Put the turban, put your green cloth and begin to wave your flag. She represents the symbol of faith. Whatever it sounds like, I believed and I believed in the Prophet and I accomplished a tasneem and submission. Means the soul when it begins to open, it submits to Allah. The soul is not the renegade, the soul is not the one who's fighting, it's the body. When the tests become heavy, the body is in convulsions, it's going crazy that why that test coming. The soul is tasneem, that whatever testing that body needs, the soul is accepting. Now comes Sayyidina Ismail. Why ati Allah for Sayyidina Ismail? Because he obeyed Allah's order. No doubt, no needed to repeat it, but as they're going up the hill for his father to begin to sacrifice him, shaking and saying that, inshaAllah don't be worried, don't be shaking, don't be upset Baba, inshaAllah you find me to be patient with what Allah has ordered. So Sayyidina Ismail in this example of Hajj, that everybody going labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, and they say all of Hajj is Arafah. Means if we don't understand the concept of why we're on Arafah, inshaAllah with intention the Hajj is complete. But it's not perfected. When they understand these realities they're understanding the perfection of faith. Then when we go on Jabal al-Rahmah and Arafah, it represents the one who obeyed Allah. He was from the Atiullah, that when Allah ordered that innocent youth, He conveyed to the body and to the soul, you find me to be patient. Born from the perfection of the body, born from the perfection of the soul is this perfected child that is pure and has firasa and understanding of what Allah's will for him is, and enough to tell the Prophet, don't be upset, don't be shaky. InshaAllah you find me to be patient, that I'm going to be slaughtered and I'm patient. Ya Baba don't worry, you slaughter me, it's okay, whatever Allah wants. These are big maqams, huge sacrifices. We pass it in a second as if it didn't occur. We go for tourism and pictures, saying that I obeyed Allah. I am the symbol of maqam al-ihsan and perfection. That with that level of perfection and love, and now becomes Sayyidina Ibrahim becomes and begins to inspire within the heart, it was all love, that my body loved and my soul loved me, my wife loved me, my soul loved me, trusted in me. This is my personal relationship of myself, my body, my soul, and the station of perfection that will come out. That the love entered into the body, the love entered in deep into the soul, that it taslim and it submitted. Whatever the body is ordering, I'm submitting, who cares? We go this way, we go that way, we go off the cliff, it doesn't matter. And the perfection of that is maqam al-ihsan that came out and completely in love. That love gives the firmness of faith. When you love Sayyidina Muhammad and you love the ulul the light of their love enters into the heart. That gives a firmness that your feet can never be moved off of faith. No love is like a flower on a rock, the first wind it blows. That love when it enters into the heart, the deep recesses of the love will begin to clarify for the body. Means when I love awliyaullah, when I love the ulul when I'm in love with Sayyidina Muhammad, as soon as I'm making wrong choices, what's going to save me? If my love was here, nothing. That's why you see people make crazy choices and they're gone doing things you couldn't imagine they were doing. But when the love is firm, Sayyidina Ibrahim showing, no, that little child inside you that is maqam al-ihsan is going to teach you, be consistent. Don't disobey Allah right now, you are being tested, be careful. And Sayyidina Ibrahim is teaching that as I'm about to maybe not fulfill Allah's order, the little one came and said, Ya Baba, be calm, be patient. Inshallah you find me to be patient with Allah. Gave a calmness to Sayyidina Ibrahim that it can be accomplished. Don't use your mind. Allah is great, and in the end a ransom was given. That Allah didn't want to destroy your life, didn't want to destroy anyone's life. Allah is not vengeful, but Allah is great. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And teaching, but you have to put it, because when you put it on the table Allah begin to show you, you worshipping that. That which you're not listening to is what you're worshipping. That worshipness, that desire, that want that's stopping you from listening to me and reaching your perfection and reaching the reality of your soul to come out. Allah says that what is blocking your perfected faith. That's why Hajj is the symbol of iman. The Sayyidina Ibrahim reminding for us that everything going to be based off of love. That love that grows will be the perfection and the safety for you. Your inner reality will remind you you're going off course. Bring yourself back and put the firmness of your feet back. Means narai Muhammadin. You don't think the love of Sayyidina Muhammad inside our hearts is not saving us every moment? That, oh you love me, I love you more qadeem. That green that you put upon your head was from my permission, Sayyidina Muhammad inspiring. If we didn't have permission there was no way to put that. That your love for me is nice, my love for you more ancient. That my love and salawat upon you bringing you into the station that you are. Fiikum Rasul means that I'm inside of you fighting and struggling every day for you, that your faith grows and your love grows. That don't listen to shaitan but listen to Rahman and bring out your reality. So Arafah is based on Sayyidina Ismail and the maqam al-ihsan and perfection. And Sayyidina Mahdi is known for coming during Hajj. Means that it represents the understanding of testing in our life, that tests are going to come into our lives. When we believe in the test, it's not us, it's not for us to judge. Because now the Muhammadan representatives come. That was for Sayyidina Ibrahim. The pinnacle of maqam al-ihsan is Sayyidina Ismail. From that shajara, from that tree is the line of Sayyidina Muhammad. Means from maqam al-ihsan is the light of Prophet coming. It didn't come from the other Prophets, he came from Sayyidina Ismail. From maqam al-ihsan coming and teaching, then our way is completely based on this testing. Allah going to test you, call for everything from you, put it on the table and never lose hope and despair in Allah. That Allah just wants to test and show you what is it that you really worship, what are the inner recesses of your desires, put them out so that you can understand, and that becomes the understanding of testing. So when Allah Prophet introduced for us the concept of Sayyidina Mahdi, the inheritor of Sayyidina Ismail teaching for us, prepare yourselves for difficulty. Don't use your mind that the difficulty is not going to come, it looks like it's very far away, it's not going to happen this day, it's not going to happen that day. None of that is your business. Because the example of Sayyidina Ibrahim. Hagar didn't say, oh this is a joke, I know Allah's playing games with us, don't worry about it, no it's not going to happen. And Sayyidina Ismail said, no I'm not coming with you today Baba, you did that last week, oh no you're not going to try to kill me this week. No, they believed. But they never gave up hope in the inner reality that, well Allah wants to sacrifice me. The level of pure faith, whatever Allah let's go with it. Allah wants it, that's it, we put it out there. And Allah said, what? I didn't want him, what I want him for? Here's a lamb. But our whole life is based on that testing. Sayyidina Mahdi salam is that reality. Prepare your lives for his arrival. Prepare your lives for the days of difficulty around us. Don't use your aql and your mind to say, no it's far away, you'll fail that test. What they want for us is to pass the test. When you believe and you believe and you believe in all of their testing, dunya leaves your heart. How dunya can be in the heart of Sayyidina Ibrahim when whatever he loved, he thought even awlad is his last desire in life, Allah even took that away. There's no more of dunya in the heart. Sayyidina Hagar, no more of dunya in the heart, all she loved was her husband and her child, and she put it on the table. And Sayyidina Ismail representing, I put myself on the table for Allah. They teach us that is the way to cut the dunya, to cut the material desire, to cut the body from what's blocking of the greatness of what Allah has dressed upon the soul. So the tests that come, they're not meant to be through your head. Where you say, oh this is the day of disaster, this is not the day of disaster. Sayyidina Mahdi is not coming, he's coming 500 years from now. No, they want you to believe like the companions believed, he's coming tomorrow. Are you prepared? They believed with such a firasa, with such a yaqeen that they were convinced it's happening tomorrow. Why? Because they began to see the event through their spiritual vision. What's important is when the desires are all crushed, what's left is faith. Faith is a nur, is a light. That light within the heart, you begin to see them and you don't need the end of the world to come. You close your eyes, you are with them. Everything they talked about through your heart you'll be witnessing, because your attachment to the material world is going, gone. But if the ulul or ulama are not teaching that, the desire keeps growing and keeps growing, and as it grows it blackens the heart and blocks the veil of the heart. We pray that in this holy month so many events around the world are everywhere, that Ya Rabbi prepare us for the arrival of Sayyidina Isa return, prepare us for the arrival of Sayyidina Mahdi's return, and let us to reach Islam, iman wal maqam al ihsan. Hurmati Muhammadan.
Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi.